Hello and welcome to Choose Beautiful. This is our special initiative in partnership with Dove, where we are highlighting the importance of women to choose beautiful, to see themselves as beautiful human beings.
It was my choice. And now I will question myself for the next few weeks, maybe months.
Now, do you feel being beautiful ensures greater opportunities in life? When the India Today woman carried out this survey, 7 out of 10 women felt that this is true.
Yes.
So if you are beautiful, being beautiful basically allows you greater opportunities.
Yes, because if you look at being beautiful as
It's the
simply
X factor
being
that Ira spoke about.
presentable, yes, it does open a slight door because, well, people will give you a chance to at least hear you out. But if you define beauty as being confident, well, that doesn't matter how you look, but you'll still be able to create an impression. Because they do say, don't judge a book by its cover, but unfortunately, women are judged by how they make that first good impression.
And I'm just, talking about books, now I'll jump right in here. Is that I actually feel that beauty can often be a burden. It often can. I've always felt that being a beautiful woman sometimes can always serve you. Can sometimes it's not the luckiest thing. I've had to struggle with stereotypes my whole career as a writer. For my first book that came out at 19, people would often say that, oh my gosh, this has got to be a bad book. Because, she simply can't be that smart.
But this is the cultural stereotyping that we'd spoken about. Yeah. If you're too pretty, you're probably not good enough for anything else. You can just look nice.
Exactly. I've been to board meetings and things like that where there's, if a woman who is beautiful speaks, then automatically it's like, oh, she can't really be saying anything that important.
So that must be why I walk through the advert, because I know I'm smart. I'm obviously not beautiful.
Now we know the answer.
Now I know the answer.
So I think that's often, it's a stereotype of beauty which also exists. So I personally have had to struggle with almost my entire career as a writer to get rid of that impression that, oh, if she looks good, then she simply can't be smart, especially when you're competing with people who are really, really smart, and so that's what I think.
And there is, we all like things that are beautiful. If you take it beyond, we like a beautiful painting. We may differ on what we think is a beautiful painting, but the eye is naturally drawn to beauty. And I only read this because I knew I was coming here today, but I read about how little babies, infants look at a beautiful face longer than they do a not so beautiful face. There's a physical reaction, a chemical reaction that happens in the brain when you see an attractive face. That doesn't happen when you don't see an attractive face.
It's also a beautiful aura.
So whether it's an aura or whether it's just some objectives, something that you find attractive, something happens and you respond to that. And I do think, to go back to the survey question, that people who are considered attractive will have better opportunities. But as, if you take that further, and it's not going to, you may get a foot in the door, but I don't think nobody's going to invest lots of money with you if you're not able to deliver.
I absolutely agree. It's got to have substance, and I think beauty at all types has to at the end of the day have substance. Otherwise, it'll just be a superficial quality. So you could be physically beautiful, but if there's not that inner confidence and that inner radiance, that inner beauty, then the outer beauty will at some point shrivel away, and that goes towards anything, I think.
I want to ask you about these women who chose that average door. Some of them actually said that they felt bad about it and they continue thinking about it for a long time, but they still probably would walk through that door again. Now, what are the small choices that women can make to change the way they feel about themselves? Dr. Chelani, do you want to respond to that?
I think starting with the first thing is a belief or an attitude that I deserve to be self-loving. I think that's the first. From there will follow the consequential steps. And with that belief, core belief that I deserve to be who I am and I love me for who I am, then comes what makes me happy, what would I like to wear, what would I like to do. So small steps of investment in self, unapologetically and unashamedly. I love me intrinsically for who I am. I think once that comes into place, then the methods are relatively simple. Whether it's, going out for that exercise class, taking those 10 hours that Soha takes, okay, or just simply, okay, getting yourself well styled. Those are all adjuncts after the core has been corrected.
And so apart from those 10 hours, is there anything else, any other tips that you'd like to share with people about what they can do to feel good about themselves?
I would say that, yes, me time is very important. Doing whatever makes you feel happy, because if you're happy, you'll be able to better contribute to someone else's life, or you'll be making the people around you miserable as well. And I've done that too.
And Ira,
I think most important, and I say this to all the young women that I meet, do something that you really love to do. Even that's just one little thing. And don't feel guilty about it. If you just want to dance listening to loud music, do it. No one is going to judge you for doing that. If you love writing poetry, then invest a little bit of time doing that. If you want to, go on a short holiday, and if you love traveling, no matter what anyone would say, take not just the time, but have the courage to do it. Because often we don't have the courage to do what we really love to do. And if you do that one thing, whatever it is, that one small thing that you pick up, that you may have loved as a child, that you've just stopped doing as you grow busier with your family or whatever, just doing that one thing that you love can really make you feel, happy and beautiful at the same time.
Anisha, do you want to share some personal experiences, something that made you feel beautiful?
Well, actually, I think it's an amalgamation of this, but before I say what makes me feel beautiful, I want to take it actually a little outside of just doing it personally. I think as a society, in general, we tend to be a little stingy with compliments. I think if we start doing that amongst ourselves too, right? If we could just tell someone, oh, you look gorgeous. Forget the gorgeous, beautiful hair, whatever, great legs. You said no one said that. But, whatever it was, if we were more open about it and we just were more,
had a more positive outlook, more
positive
generous
as a
with
society in
compliments.
general, and we're more open about giving compliments, I think it would make a difference,
Yeah,
You'd see a lot
that's the
more.
concept of reinforcement.
Yeah.
Basically, positive reinforcement.
Anisha,
telling
I think
Anisha
you're
that
beautiful.
she has such lovely hair. Okay.
Thank you, I know.
Goes a long way.
Okay, that's the peg down. That needs to be done.
Maybe not to each other. Maybe.
So yes, I mean, I think she's got an extremely great point that society, we're very stingy, we're very critical. We unfortunately have a tendency to always find what is not right. And I would suggest to women out there, go looking for what is right in you. And of course, right in your friends and your family. And it just becomes a
And
habit.
as Anisha said, instead of being competitors, you can just be supportive of other women.
As friends, we're not that competitive. It's only in a professional environment more so than anything else. And we need that as a society, we need that.
But
we need the positive.
unfortunately, we keep comparing ourselves. And comparison is an act of violence against oneself. It shows how little you love yourself. And if I may use the word, how much you hate yourself. The very fact that you're going to compare yourself to someone else, it shows how little self-love you have. So I think if we teach our children to not compare, I think we would be fueling a generation which is much, much emotionally healthier, and a healthier generation can reinforce and complement.
Absolutely, mothers and I think friends play a huge role as far as self-confidence goes. Absolutely. That's an important thing.
So why is it that a girl feels guilty more than a boy?
A 22-year-old or a 15-year-old or a 5-year-old needs to fall in love with her body.
All the men are going to hate me here. You give a man one thing to do and that's enough. And, we're supposed to do 10 things at the same time.